still alive now.
Top mic. Use the top mic. Just like normal. Let me know. What? He won't. It's weird. He says, I would do it. Yeah, yeah, I know. I told him.
No, you gotta say, it's like one that you did. That's the joke. He might put me over there. No, well, I will be close to you. I'll be. So, over there, I'll be closer with the largest. Oh, yeah, I'll certainly, I'll go forward. I'm just the best.
Remember?
Two weeks. So you get called into
She
here.
tripped on her shoe. She tripped on the wire, I think. Safety first. Girl. What? I'm sorry. In just a minute. Will you give me the go ahead on what we have enough people? Bars? Not bars. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Should I go out and ask?
No. Okay.
Ask Chuck?
No.
Because I'll go ahead and get started. This is what I sent you. You want to glance at it? Oh, well, I can pull it up from here, right? No, this. Oh, the minutes, but you said minutes. Yeah, oh, yeah, right, okay. Keep me here. I swear to God, I'm going to pinch you so hard. Keep us here. I swear. You know. I'm sweating to death. It's very warm in here. Me too. Good. Stop. Been there, done that. Say it to me. Can't say stuff like that, though, you. Can't say stuff like that.
People are still coming in, but there's no reason not to stop.
Folks, I'm gonna go ahead and start. It's on the list. It's on the list. Okay, folks, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Everybody, please take your seats. The December 2022 regular board meeting of the Board of Education is called to order. Ms. Bowie, will you please call the roll?
Good evening. Stephanie Craybill.
Here.
Stephanie Walker.
Here.
Stephanie Adams.
Here.
Nelson Boyer.
Here.
Judy Justice.
Here.
Hugh McManus.
Present.
And Pete Wildeboer.
Present.
And I apologize for the noise. We'll get that door closed in just a moment. Welcome to the New Hanover County Board of Education's December regular board meeting. Thank you all for joining us in person or in the remote viewing audience. We value and appreciate your interest, your participation, and your advocacy on behalf of all New Hanover County school students and staff. For those in attendance, would you please take a moment to silence your cell phones? We have a very exciting agenda tonight as we swear in new board members, and one that I hope will remain short and sweet by sticking as closely as possible to our estimated times and keeping our discussion focused and on point. Before we get started, I would like to take just a moment to recognize some of our elected officials who are in the audience. So if you are an elected official, would you please rise so that we can, I see new board chair, County Commissioner Board Chair Bill Rivenbark. I see Deb Hayes and Leanne Pierce from the County Commission, the Representative Ted Davis, Judge Jay Corpening. Oh, I haven't pointed you out yet. Judge Jay Corpening, Judge Phyllis Gorham, Judge Frank Jones, and Shelley, she's retired, but I'm going to go ahead and include her as somebody important. So Shelley, wave your hand wherever, there she is, over there in the corner. Okay, so thank you all for joining us tonight. And supporting New Hanover County Schools in all the ways that you do. So as always, but especially tonight, with so many specially invited guests in attendance, including judges, elected officials, adult and youth, family, and friends of new and outgoing board members, I'd like to remind us all that we need to treat each other with dignity and respect throughout this meeting, no matter what our thoughts and feelings are about the issue or even a particular group or person. The board needs to remain focused on completing its governance work that is so very necessary for our students, staff, and schools to be successful. Disruptions to our meeting will not be tolerated, just as they are not tolerated at any other local governmental body meeting where rules of common courtesy and professionalism are in action. That said, people who are disrupting the meeting will be asked to leave. If that happens, you can watch via live stream, New Hanover County Schools TV, or later on the New Hanover County Schools YouTube channel. So moving right along into board business. Do I hear a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Mr. Boyer made a motion to accept the agenda. Is there a second? Second, Judy and Adams. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next up, let me get back to that. Continue. Next up is our invocation, which our invocation tonight will be provided by Senior Pastor Jonathan P. Conrad of St. Paul's Evangelist Lutheran Church. Everyone, please rise. And silence those cell phones, please. Pastor Conrad.
I want to wish the Board of Education members, the staff, and those in attendance a blessed and beautiful holiday. I want to extend a special thank you to Russell Park for the invitation. At St. Paul's Lutheran Church, we celebrate Holy Communion every week, and during that celebration, we say it is right to give our thanks and praise. And lately, when I hear those words, I am reminded of a scene from one of my favorite movies featuring one of my favorite characters, and I think it's a character we all know and love. You guessed it, Batman. Now, at the end of the movie Batman Begins, after he has beaten an army of villains, his friend Jim Gordon tells Batman, "I never said thank you." And Batman says, "And you'll never have to." You'll never have to. That statement hits home to me because I believe we should never do a good deed in order to hear someone tell us thank you, because that makes the deeds all about us. We do good deeds because we are called to do what is best for others. When we do good deeds, we are showing praise to God. We are giving God the real thanks for the gifts we have been given and for the opportunities to make the lives of our neighbors better. This Christmas season, I ask everyone in this room to focus on the lives of the people around you and ask yourselves, how can I make this day better for my neighbor? Let that be your guiding question this holiday and for all days in our lives. That's why we do what we do. We don't do it to get the thank you. We do it to give thanks. Let us pray. Holy God, as we gather for tonight's meeting, show us ways to live out our thanks in the way we treat our neighbors, your children. We also pray for all elected officials, nationally, and those who have gathered here tonight, locally. And this evening, I lift up to you especially Charles and Stephanie, Nelson and Judy, Stephanie, Hugh, Pete, Stephanie, and those who will be joining the board next year, Pat, Josie, and Melissa. I pray that each of them will give of their time and heart to work together for the benefit of all children in our county. And I also lift up the Board of Education staff, those who are doing amazing work behind the scenes, for those working security to keep us safe, lead us to a productive and positive meeting, and show us ways to work together for a better tomorrow. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. Next up is a presentation of colors. The New Hanover High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard will present the colors and is under the direction this evening of Captain Lance Gaither, Army Science Instructor. Ms. Walker will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And thank you for all the students who know that Pledge of Allegiance. We're so proud of you tonight. And so next we will hear our national anthem played by members of the Murray Middle School Orchestra. The Murray Middle School Orchestra is under the direction of Jasmine Mendunick and Principal Justin Fischetti. Middle school, you all can be seated. Murray Middle School students, would you like to come up and introduce yourself, please?
It's pretty. I like it. Flowers my thing. This is my new one.
Are you playing an encore? Are you playing an encore? No. Okay. So I'll just walk down, or you can pass it. Can you pass it? Just say your name and grade you're in.
I'm Josephine Clem. I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Ashton Gainey, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Aya Tia, 8th grade.
I'm Mariana Roth, 8th grade.
I'm Matthew Wirtz, 7th grade.
I'm Jared M. Boykin, 7th grade.
I'm Santana Wade, I'm in 8th grade.
I'm JP Summers, and I'm in 8th grade.
Thank you. Your pre-music was fabulous, and your rendition of the national anthem was amazing. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you all for welcoming my students here. My name is Jasmine Mendunik. I'm the orchestra teacher over at Murray Middle, and I am so blessed and so thankful for these young kids here. Many of them have only been playing for 1 to 2 years, and some of them started on Zoom. So I'm so proud of them. Thank you all. Have a wonderful holiday.
Were the ROTC folks the ones that had another engagement? They did? Okay.
Just getting my steps in, going around. All right, so next up on our agenda is approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented by Pete Wildeboer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nelson Boyer. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving right along to our next thing, I'd like to invite Caress Clegg up to the microphone for our December recognitions.
Good evening, board members, current and coming on. This evening, I would like to present to you our recognitions of excellence for the month. Since 1964, the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program has recognized and honored over 8,000 outstanding high school seniors and encouraged high attainment among all students. For the 21-22 school year, North Carolina was honored to have 3 students recognized as U.S. Presidential Scholars. New Hanover County Schools has 2 students nominated for the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program for the 22-23 school year. Please join me in congratulating and recognizing the following. Tansy Brown of New Hanover High School. And Tansy was unable to be here, so Ms. Faison, if you could come accept her certificate for her. And Oscar Cleveland of Ashley High School. Oscar's coming up. Tansy has been nominated in the general academic category, and Oscar has been nominated for a career and technical education category. Our final recognition of the evening is for the New Hanover County School 2023 Outstanding Teacher and Teacher of the Gifted Award. The recipient of this award has been a gifted educator since 2015 and has been a significant asset to the New Hanover County Schools AIG program. In addition to her role as the gifted specialist, this individual also serves as a PLC leader, a coach, co-teacher, team teacher, and when asked about what sets this individual apart, her leadership stated, AIG and high-achieving students are inspired by Reagan Mock's enthusiasm. She motivates all the students she comes in contact with. Reagan is extremely active at Myrtle Grove, not just with the gifted student population, but with all students. She supports the Junior Beta Club, holds lunch bunch for academic support, Monday Math Madness, Tuesday book groups, creative writing Thursdays, and Fan Fridays, catering to the interests and fandoms of her students. Join me in recognizing Reagan Mock as our 2023 Teacher of Gifted Students. And Ms. Bliss, you want to come up and get in the photo also? That concludes our recognitions for the evening. Thank you.
So tonight, we are awarding the Excellence in Public Service. And I would like to give my heartfelt thanks. I hope I don't cry. Sorry. To our whole entire board, and especially our outgoing board members, Nelson Boyer, Stephanie with an F. Adams, and Judy Justice. This has been probably one of the most tumultuous times in the history of our country, and our county is no different. It has been very hard to lead and to govern in this time. And so all I can say to you is thank you, for your service, for your dedication, for your perseverance, and just your insights, your perseverance again. I think that word is out there. So on behalf of the whole entire board, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So I do have a little something. No, come on, Crown. No, take another picture. So you are welcome to take a poinsettia. I grew those in my greenhouse for you. And I just want to take one of these out and show you. So Stephanie with an F. Adams. On behalf of our whole school board, we have this something nice for your desk, your self shelf. It says, for excellence in public service as a member of the New Hanover County Board of Education from December 2018 to December of 2022, presented by the New Hanover County Board of Education on this day, December 6th, 2022. Thank you very much. So, Nelson, there you go. Thank you. Okay, so next up on our agenda is the superintendent's report.
Comments.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. This is one of the most important things. So we give each outgoing board member an opportunity to just say a few words as they exit the dais. You don't have to exit the dais. You can sit up here until the recess. But and so this is like a three minutes, 4 minutes kind of thing. So, and I promise I won't gavel anybody who goes over. But let's go. Judy, would you like to start?
Sure. Normally I don't write things down, and you guys know that. It comes right out the hip, usually. But I wanted to just go ahead and briefly state a couple things. 4 years ago, I ran for the school board because of my decades-long commitment to our public schools as an educator and community member. My main goal was to ensure that all children in our schools had access to a quality education in a safe and nurturing environment so that they can be successful in life. Our two main responsibilities as board members, according to state statute, is to provide oversight of our superintendent and create education policy along with overseeing its implementation so that goal can successfully be carried out. Due to some unimaginable situations that arose during the past 4 years, which Ms. Crabill's already referred to, such as the discovery of the dozens of sexual assaults on our students for decades, the COVID pandemic, our staff leaving in unheard numbers, and the resulting dysfunction of our school board and school leadership carrying out that goal has been really hard, but not entirely impossible. I could not have those many successes, and I have had, the ones I've had, if it wasn't for the support of the public and the staff, who also want to see all children have access to a quality education. Now here, as a result, are my suggestions to the new school board. If you want strong public schools, always put what is best for students and staff at the center of all decisions. Just don't say it, do it, please. You cannot separate the two. You got to put the staff and the kids together in this. Trust and support the staff in the buildings. They are well-educated, hardworking professionals. Listen to them. Listen to our students. Listen to their families. And please listen to the community members before you make decisions. Provide real oversight for the superintendent. Ask questions. Make sure you are not just relying on the information provided by school leadership unless you are comfortable with trusting their professional advice. When something is wrong, do not ignore it or make excuses. That has not been done properly, honestly, since I've been on the board, which has been to the detriment of our district. Get out in the schools, the community. Talk to all stakeholders. And make your decisions on what is best for our students, not what is best to protect the organization. It's the students that count. Work together, but also respectfully disagree if you have to, and listen to each other so that you can resolve issues according, again, to what is best for all students. Compromise is part of working as a team, but never agree to something that compromises what is best for our students. Remember that our public schools are the backbone of our democracy, and I heard that a lot from people running. Remember that. They need strong public schools in our country and definitely in our district. Our children are literally our future, and I see some beautiful children out here now. That's why we're here. And right now, it is up to you, the new members, to provide the leadership that will lead to the type of education that will help them achieve a fulfilling life. And really, thank you again for everybody that has supported our schools. Thank you for our staff. Thank you for our wonderful students.
Thank you, Ms. Justice. Mr. Boyer?
Yeah, well, yeah, I also just want to thank the staff. Man, working with you guys over 4 years has been a lot of fun. The miracles that we've wrought through some very difficult times. So I just want to thank their leadership. To the new board, congratulations. I stood up here 4 years ago and said that I thanked everybody. I said I won't let you down. I think it's the dumbest thing you could possibly say. Tonight, you will let people down. It's a guarantee. If you're doing this job right, or if you're doing it at all, you're going to let half the people down all of the time. And that's okay. If I could go back and say something else, I would say, don't let yourself down. Be true to who you are. And, I do wish you, I think it's the best job in the entire world. I wish you all so much luck. If there's any advice that you need, anything you want to run by me, I'm always here. I guess congratulations again to you. And I guess that's it. I do want to thank my family. So.
Ms. Adams?
All right, I will finish this up. I also would like to say congratulations to the new members first. It takes a very brave person to step up and want to do this. It's going to be an interesting 4 years for you, so get ready for a wild ride. But I applaud you and your bravery for being here. All of you ran saying that it's about you want to be able to speak for parents. Well, I am now officially a parent in this district, just as a parent. So I'd like you to remember 49% of this population did not vote for you. So remember, as you are representing for all students. So I just want that to be, it's hard sometimes as a board member to remember that we've got to hear all the voices. And I just encourage you to listen and listen to the voices. Next, I would like to thank my fellow board members. Nobody knows what it's like to sit in this seat except us. And it's been a very interesting experience, and I am grateful for your service, and I'm grateful for the dialogues, although sometimes crazy. But it has been an incredible learning opportunity, and I thank you for your dedication to the community. Also, New Hanover County Schools, this has been such a gift. The staff that works in this district are some of the most talented, passionate, intelligent people I've ever thought I could meet. Thank you for your dedication to our students. Dr. Faust, I am proud to be part of the team that hired you, and I am grateful for what you have done for this district, and it is my hope that you are able to continue the progress and the good work that you and your team have been doing. Lastly, I'd like to thank the community. It's been an honor to represent you for the past 4 years. And my final is my family, who are sitting in the audience. First off, my mom. You raised me to show kindness and respect to all people, and I hope I have made you proud in that time. Thank you for always being there to listen to me on the really tough days. My son, Braden, yesterday I asked him what has he learned from me being on the board, and he said, I'm never going to run for public office. And then he followed it up with a very interesting comment, and he said, I also learned that it's important to listen to people. So if that has been his takeaway from my 4 years of being here, then it was worth it. And last but not least, my husband, Scott. I wouldn't have survived these 4 years without you. You are the only one that truly understands what this role takes. You saw all of it. You provided me the strength to keep moving. You helped me rise above the ignorance, and there was a lot of it. And you helped me make sure that I was keeping students and schools at the center of my thought process. And so forever, I love you. I thank you for supporting me in this journey. And that's it. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, board members. You are not dismissed yet, so don't be packing up. We got one more thing to do, and then you may be dismissed. So next on the agenda is the board chair's report. I'm sorry. I dropped you. Sorry. Superintendent's report, please.
As we approach the holiday season, we at the school district would like to extend our warmest wishes to our students, staff, and families. We hope that you have a wonderful holiday and that you are able to spend time with loved ones, enjoy so much needed rest and relaxation. We would also like to welcome the new members of the Board of Education. We're excited to work with you and to benefit from your unique perspectives and experiences. We are confident that your contributions will help us to make our school district even stronger. We also would like to thank the outgoing board members and for their hard work and dedication to our school district. Your contributions have been invaluable, and we are grateful for your service. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. I'm honored to have accepted Chancellor Galletti's invitation to serve as the commencement speaker for the Cameron School of Business and Watson College of Education at UNCW. The ceremony is Friday, December 16th, 2020 at 6 p.m. And I look forward to the opportunity to speak to the graduating class. Finally, we're excited for the second half of the school year. We look forward to the opportunities and the challenges that lie ahead, and we are committed to providing the best possible education for our students and helping them achieve their goals. We look forward to working together to make this successful and rewarding school year for all. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Faust. All right, so now I can read correctly. Board Chair's report. So this week is National Computer Science Education Week. Many of our schools are celebrating in ways unique to them. So please ask your teachers and principals what exciting things they have planned and offer support where you can. On November 17th, I had the honor of participating in the ribbon cutting for the grand reopening of Brogdon Hall. So it was a fun night for alumni and students, both in the stands and on the courts. And I just want to take one more opportunity to thank our county commissioners who may still be with us for their support in making it happen, and to our operations department, Leanne, representing, for doing a fabulous job, under many different adversities. So, thank you for that. You have to stop by Brogdon Hall. You need sunglasses in there because the room is so bright, the floor is so bright. But it was so nice just to hear fans in there cheering, and watching some of the alumni try and keep up with the young people. They almost needed oxygen, on the side there. Also, too, wanted to let you know that I attended the North Carolina School Board Association annual meeting on November 14th through 16th last month, where district delegates voted on the NCSBA's agenda to present to the State Board of Education and the General Assembly in their next long session. So I had the opportunity to cast my vote, and I also had the opportunity to make a motion to amend one of the things we were doing through, and that amendment was to ask the General Assembly to allow districts to have options for creating calendars that best fit their community. So we'll see how that goes. Stephanie Adams and Stephanie Walker were recognized for attending training in the 12 to 24-hour category. So thank you for, and this is board training. This is all stuff that they do to, make themselves and make our board better. I received a merit award for attending training in the 30 to 100-hour category. So it's all in the name of doing what's best for our students. We can always learn from each other across the state, and so that's good. But I want to encourage our new board, to continue to do that. I also want to thank this board for electing me to serve as their board chair this past year. I was humbled by their support whenever I could get it. I always did my best to lead, to find opportunities for us to improve ourselves, and just to be better comrades. So sometimes that worked, sometimes that did not. But that's okay, because that's what being a board is all about. I also want to echo what Dr. Faust said about thank you to our hardworking staff, for this up till the holiday break. Encourage all of you to take time over this holiday season to just reflect on the many blessings we have, the good school district that we lead, and spend time, with your families. So with that said, that's it. That's my report. And so that brings us to the end of part of December 6th board meeting, part A. We are going to take, Ms. Bowie, 15 minutes is what we need. I'm going to take a 15-minute break, and so that'll bring us back like at 6:30. So that's actually right before 6:30. So one more round of applause for our outgoing board members.
就实体展出来这样的也不要用过来。就后面的
Pack up all your things.
So, you know,
the script for the vice chair in my packet too? There's a pin and everything. Yes, so the chair has that.
Wow, look at that. Pat Bradford's a big name. I'm jealous.
Yes, okay. Yes, Kristen's in charge, we got it.
the new folks up here or not?
No, they're staying here. I'll call them up. Next on our agenda is the oath of office.
Good luck.
Judge Jones, Miss Barnhart, you all can come to the. Miss Barnhart, and your party may. Party of 5 is ready. Judge Jones. Okay, so we're going to have Judge Jones behind the podium. You here, your Bible holder next to you. And the kids can stay with you, or they can stay over here, or they can be in the front, wherever they want to go, okay? You're going to help? Okay, that is awesome. Okay, so next on our agenda is taking the oath of office for our new board members. The first up is Josie Barnhart. The Honorable Frank Jones, Resident Superior Court Judge for the 5th Judicial District, will swear her in.
Thank you. Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board, Dr. Fowles, staff, elected state and local officials, members of our community, and most importantly, our children.
Note to self, don't lean too hard.
It is my distinct honor and privilege to administer the oath of office to Josie Barnhart. When asked if I knew Josie, I said yes. Let me answer with 2 remarks. First, if you want something well done, ask a woman. Secondly, if you want something done exceptionally well, ask this woman. Josie, I am going to read at this time to you the oath of office, and at the conclusion, I'm going to ask if you solemnly swear. I, Josie Barnhart, do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as a member of the New Hanover County Board of Education this, the 6th day of December, 2022. Do you so solemnly swear?
I so solemnly swear.
Congratulations.
Ms. Barn,
Do you want us to execute these here or later?
you can go ahead and execute right now, yeah, but not Josie, we need her.
There are 4 copies.
Yeah, go ahead and sign. And then when you're done, Ms. Barnhart, you can take your seat right to the left of Mr. Wildebohr. You can pass them off to our board clerk, Ms. Bowie. Thank you. Thank you again, Judge Jones. Okay, next up is Pat Bradford. Okay, so Judge Gorham, you saw where to stand and you saw not to press down too hard. So, Pat, here's your Bible holder. You got your Bible holder, okay? And so you all can stand around her, or you could flank on the other side, wherever you want to be. Okay, so Pat Bradford is being sworn in tonight by the Honorable Phyllis Gorham, Senior Resident Superior Court Judge for the 5th Judicial District.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I thank you for this opportunity to be here this evening. I do want to introduce Pat Bradford to the community as a new board member. She is a member of my church, Global River Church. Our pastor is here this evening, along with many other members of our church. If you will please stand. And Pat, at this time, I will ask you, I will read this oath to you, and at the end of this oath, if you so agree, say I do. Pat Bradford, do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution of the laws of the United States and the Constitution and the laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a member of the New Hanover County Board of Education this, the 6th day of December, 2022. I do. Congratulations.
For those of you who don't know, Judge Gorham swore me in as a guardian ad litem over 17 years ago, so this is a continuation of something very important to me.
Ms. Bradford, you can grab your things and come sit to the right of Mr. Wildebohr. Thank you, Judge Gorham, for being here. Our board clerk will take your papers. Okay, next up is Melissa Mason. Okay, I see you have your Bible holder. Swearing in Melissa Mason this evening is the Honorable Julius Corpening, Chief Justice for the 5th District Court. Thank you for being with us.
No, they're okay.
Okay, sure. All right, I'll ask you to put your hand on the Bible, raise your left hand, that's fine. I'm going to read this oath to you. If you agree to abide by it, I'll ask you to answer appropriately at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge my duties of my office as a member of the New Hanover County Board of Education this, the 6th day of December 2022. If you agree, please say I will.
I will.
Congratulations. It's official. Congratulations.
Melissa, you'll take your seat just to the right of Mr. McManus. Okay. And last but certainly not least, Pete Wildebohr. Got your Bible holder? Okay.
Yeah. If you'll put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. And as the others did, I'm going to read this and ask you at the end if you agree and swear to it. Do you, Pete Wildebohr, solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a member of the New Hanover County Board of Education this, the 6th day of December 2022? Do you solemnly swear?
I do.
Right. Congratulations. Thank you.
And allow me to introduce the swearer-inner, who I forgot, the swearer-inner, the Honorable Shelley Holt, retired district court judge, and a friend of mine for 20 years.
Kirsten and I decided we should say play ball instead of...
Yes. Exactly.
So Hugh does pay attention. Okay, so next up on our agenda is call to order with the new sitting board. Ms. Bowie, will you please call the roll?
Josie Barnhart.
Here.
Pat Bradford.
Here.
Stephanie Craybill.
Here.
Melissa Mason.
Here.
Hugh McManus.
Present.
Stephanie Walker.
Here.
And Pete Wildebohr.
Present.
Okay, next up on our agenda is the election of the board chair.
Madam Chair,
What, yes?
so I'm getting ready to just.
Okay, I need to turn the gavel over to, let him read his book. To Dr. Faust, who will conduct the elections of the board chair. He has to do his part.
In a moment, I will call for nominations.
Thank you.
For the office of Chair of New Hanover County Board of Elections. Nominations do not require a second. If more than one person is nominated, the board will vote on nominees in order of nomination. The first person to receive a majority of board members present is elected chair. Nominations are in the order of the office of board chair. Are there any nominations?
Madam Chair, Dr. Miss, I nominate Pete Wildebohr for the chair.
Okay.
I will say, second.
We don't have to have seconds, no.
Are there any other nominations? Okay.
Sorry.
We will now move to vote on nominees of the nomination. Those in favor of Pete Wildebohr as chair, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Pete Wildebohr is elected chair of the vote, 7-0.
I'd like to just.
Here, have a sandwich. Would you like that?
No.
I will now pass the gavel to Pete. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to thank the people of New Hanover County for putting their trust in the new board members by electing us with a clear majority. We see that as a mandate for change. I also want to thank my fellow board members for their faith in my leadership by electing me chair. What the people of New Hanover County can expect in the short term is for us to dig into the serious issues facing our school district. We assure you that we have heard the community's concerns loud and clear. We will hold a board retreat in the coming weeks. At the end of that retreat, we will have a 100-day plan of action, which will further address top community concerns, including parents' rights, curriculum, student safety, and raising students' academic achievement to make our county the very best in the state. Further, we plan to partner with the county commissioners and meet with them regularly to discuss ways to improve our school system. Again, thank you, and thank you all. Thank you. Our first order of business is to elect a board vice chair. Are there nominations? The nominations are in order of the office of vice chair. Are there any nominations?
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Pat Bradford.
I was first. I'll nominate Josie Barnhart.
Okay. I think I actually heard Ms. Barnhart first.
No, you didn't. No, that's fine.
Okay. So we have, you said Ms. Bradford?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other nominations?
Well, I was first, but I nominate Josie Barnhart.
Ms. Barnhart? Are there other nominations? Hearing none. Hearing none, the office of the vice chair nominations is closed. What we'll do is we'll do a roll call. We will start with Ms. Bradford. Would you please call the roll, Ms.
I don't know what we're roll calling for.
We're voting for.
We're voting, so not a roll call.
Yes,
We're voting.
yes. Okay, those in favor of Ms. Barnhart, Ms. Bradford, excuse me. Ms. Bradford, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be a quorum. That will be the number needed.
Who were the four, please?
The 4 were Ms. Barnhart, Ms. Bradford, myself, and Mr. McManus. So we do not need to vote for the second. So at that point, we will have Ms. Bradford as, congratulations, you are the, that's it. We need, if you would move over to the seat, please.
Can we move all her chairs now?
I'm just gonna do it.
Oh, this is my stuff right here. Is there something else that was underneath? I'm missing a white piece. Okay, that's good.
This time we will start with our call to audience. Remember, you have 2 minutes. I will call up 3 people. I will do my best with your names. If I do mispronounce your names, I apologize on the front end. Please remember to be mindful of the 2 minutes. We do look forward to listening to you and hearing you very closely. Ms. Mercer will be first. Mr. Sheridan is second. Mr. Whitehead will be third. So if those folks would come up to the front, please. Christina Mercer? Mercier, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Good evening. When I started my teaching career in the 90s in Pender County, we had a convocation at the beginning of each school year. Whether by design or accident, the superintendent, Mark Sosney, gave the same speech each year to motivate the staff. What he said was this: parents send us the best kids they have. They don't hide the good ones at home. Then he'd remind us that we were there to educate the students who are in front of us, not imaginary ones. That was solid advice then, and it remains so today. And it applies not only to teachers, but everyone involved in education. As a board, you will have 2 years to serve New Hanover County schools together. The students in the schools now are the best New Hanover County has to offer. Every policy consideration and vote needs to be with their best interest in mind. Personal beliefs and relationships have no place in determining what is best for our students. The only question you should ask before making a vote is, how will this benefit the children? And I'd like to go a step further. As a board, you are also tasked with making New Hanover County schools the best working environment for teachers and staff. Teaching was difficult before COVID shutdowns, and it's even more difficult now. Teachers are having to do more with less, and they are struggling with overwhelming workloads. When you are updating or making new policies, I've already asked that you consider if it's best for students, but you also need to consider and weigh the effect it may have on teachers and staff as well. Learning and teaching should be positive and enjoyable endeavors. I am asking you all to work together for the next 2 years to improve the working conditions at all schools and to halt the degradation of all teachers and staff. Do not get sidetracked by false issues that create acrimony between the public and the school system. If you choose to work together on concrete, important issues, you will create a positive learning environment that will benefit all students and employees. They deserve that from their school board. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McLaurin-Brown, if you would join, please. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Dr. Michael Sheridan, and this is the 3rd time I've spoken to the board about this topic. Have you read Policy 1510 on school safety recently? Here is one paragraph from it. When employees with responsibility for supervising students have personal knowledge or actual notice of a student altercation or other situation that poses an immediate threat to safety, they shall use their professional judgment to determine how best to address the situation to protect the safety of everyone in the vicinity. Emergency procedures identified in a student's behavior intervention plan shall be followed to the maximum extent possible under the circumstances. For minor threats or altercations involving young children, the employee shall intervene directly to end the fight or address the safety threat if the employee can do so safely. An employee who encounters a situation that cannot be managed safely and effectively by that employee immediately shall request assistance from other employees or administrative staff and shall take steps to remove bystanders from the area. Only the degree of force or physical control reasonably necessary shall be used to reestablish a safe environment. Love Our Children is asking you to add 6 words to this policy. Tonight, other speakers will address the 6 words and why you can use the safety policy instead of the seclusion policy to keep everyone safe in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Whitehead?
Good evening. Congratulations, new board members. Just saying, if you're here to protest the new board, it's a little early. I've come up and protested the board, and as a 24-year veteran teacher at New Hanover County High Schools, let me give you a sad compendium of the legacy of our outgoing board. I was out Thursday the 10th of November, the 11th was a holiday, and left a few assignments, including a crossword puzzle. On Monday, I checked the crossword puzzle. If the students finished nearly half of the puzzle, they received a grade of 50. If they got close to finishing, they received a grade of 100. Out of approximately 52 students, 3 received a grade of 100, and maybe 5 received a grade of 50 in 2 classes. These were honors students, the vast majority of whom do not know to capitalize the name of a country, do not know what a verb or a noun are, think Europe is a country, and cannot tell time on an analog clock. I literally knew more about the world in elementary school as a C and D student. And it's not their fault. It's the fault of the people who have eliminated all standards for our students. We also have PLC meetings once a week where our history department will talk about whatever new and woke fad the board has chosen for us to fail with. This takes up precious planning time, and we in the history department have been told by 2 administrators we have the most productive PLC meetings, yet we hate them and find them useless. When I asked our department today what we did in the last 4 meetings, no one could answer other than say we're checking a box for someone's job. Students also regularly curse out teachers and receive no punishment. I was going to quote some of that today, but there are kids here. I don't care if I get thrown out of the meeting. These kids get no consequence. We're not allowed to talk like this here. Why are children allowed to talk to adults that way? This morning, just before the bell, I heard an administrator tell a student 5 times to go to class. 5. I counted because I knew I was coming in tonight. I finally walked away. It was so pathetic. Do a survey and see how many high school teachers think our diplomas are worth the paper they're printed on. You're going to find very, very few. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Ms. McLaurin-Brown, Ms. Major, and Ms. Tu, please.
First, I want to congratulate and welcome the newest members of the Board of Education. I hope you will work towards providing all children with an opportunity for a superior education in a safe and positive learning environment. Love Our Children is here tonight to ask you to end the practice of seclusion. We are calling for 3 actions. 1, provide training, support, and full staffing of teachers and staff so that the use of seclusion as a behavior management tool will no longer be needed by the start of the 2023-24 school year. Secondly, end seclusion in all of the New Hanover County schools and educational programs by adding the sentence, use of seclusion is prohibited in New Hanover County schools and educational programs to Regulation 4302-R, Rules for Use of Seclusion and Restraint in Schools. And thirdly, add 6 words to Policy Code 1510/4200/7270, School Safety. The 6 words are, and risk of serious bodily injury. The policy committee could work on revision to Regulation 4302-R and Policy 1510 at their next meeting. This would allow the full board to vote on ending seclusion and the updated school policy in March. These policy changes can help increase the opportunity for all of our children to experience a superior education in a safe and positive learning environment. I repeat, these policy changes can help increase the opportunity for all of our children to experience a superior education. Thank you.
Your time is up. Ms. Major, Ms. Tu, and Ms. Yan.
Good evening. Welcome, new members and new chair and vice chair. I'm here today on behalf of Facts 2.0. We're here, I'm the coordinator in New Hanover County. We started in Alamance. We also have one coming in Pender. But we're here today to inform you, and we're very thankful that I think combined together, all of you, we can get the things that need to be done through the laws that we have been working on. A lot of it's kind of started for 2 years, so let me be quick. Starting with the first one, 115C98. That gives you, the board, sole authority as you govern. So 115C98. Then we look at your policy, 3200. All right? So this is where we're talking today about books, but what we will be sending out, Dr. Faust, what you will be receiving in a day or two, is a grievance, also known as a case file. So with that gives you the evidence and the research and documentation, and I like to refer to it as that, so everyone understands it is factual, it is proof. So when we look at 3200, the procurement, B1, Clause 1, the procurement of materials must be accomplished in accordance with law, including the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. I will jump down to being unlawful as defined in 14190.1. It is unlawful in North Carolina for any person to intentionally disseminate obscenity. We understand that 14190.15 exempts employees and public officials in performance of duties, but does not exempt employees and other public officials from illegal activity if they knew or should have known that their acts were unlawful, which means they are subject to payment or severe monetary damage. And I'm taking that as information. Okay, I'm giving that to you as
your time is up.
information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Tu, followed by Ms. Yanan, followed by Mr. Radowitz. Ms. Tu.
Good evening. My name is Natasha Tu. I am the chair of New Hanover County chapter of Moms for Liberty. I would like to congratulate our 4 new recently elected board members on your campaign victories. I'd also like to express my sincere gratitude for your willingness to step up and fight for our children and the future of our country. Samuel Adams once said, "If ever a time should come when vain and aspiring men shall possess the highest seats in government, our country will stand in need of its experienced patriots to prevent its ruin." That time is now, and you are those patriots. The New Hanover County School Board is just one of 17 school boards nationwide that flipped to a conservative majority which supports, respects, and defends our fundamental rights as parents. The 4 of you are not sitting in those seats just to follow along with recommendations and suggestions from certain county commissioners. Rather, each of you were elected to your position by New Hanover County voters who have decided it is time to hold our decision makers accountable by voting for candidates that promise to support, respect, and defend our fundamental parental rights against all levels of government overreach. We're asking to remove CRT, SEL, EDI, and woke indoctrination from our curriculum and administration. Make school choice available to all parents, including advocating for 100% of the money to follow the child, remove all obscene material from the schools and age-inappropriate sexual content from all curricula, and end the gender support plan now. Allow me to state for the record, just once more, we refuse to co-parent with the government. That is why I'm asking each of you, each member of the New Hanover County School Board of Education, to sign the following parent pledge, which will be emailed to all school board members tomorrow. I pledge to honor the fundamental rights of parents, including but not limited to the right to direct education, medical care, and moral upbringing of their children. I pledge to advance policies that strengthen parental involvement and decision-making, increase transparency, defend... Well, you'll get the rest of it tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Yunan, followed by Mr. Radowitz, followed by Ms. Gandelli, sorry, excuse me.
Good evening. I'm Denise Yunan, President of New Hanover County SEPTA. We advocate for differently abled, marginalized, and all students. We are the only special education PTA in North Carolina. We support parents, families, education staff, and schools. New Hanover County education staff is still underpaid and overworked, causing a critical staffing shortage of special education teachers, teacher assistants, mental health specialists, speech-language pathologists, physical and occupational therapists, substitute teachers, bus drivers, custodians, and food service workers. The shortage of staff hurts our students and our teachers. Special education teachers are forced to serve in more than one school. Teachers and teacher assistants resign daily. Our teachers lack sufficient classroom resources. SEPTA receives many requests for basic classroom supplies. Our teachers' mental and physical health suffer, and our students' mental and physical health suffer. Exiting teachers report that their college courses did not adequately prepare them for the challenges they face in New Hanover County, and they feel unsupported by the school board. Teachers do not want to resign, but the choice between staying or suffering serious illness like high blood pressure is no choice at all. How does all this affect our students? The reported high school graduation rate for special education students is 17% below that of general education students. Delivery of many needed and mandated services is impossible. Pandemic learning loss is set to widen this gap. You, the school board, have the means and the wonderful new opportunity to support our students and staff. You can choose to do the right thing and fulfill your oath of office and your obligation to our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Radowitz, please.
Last month, when talking about the revisions to the seclusion regulation, Ms. Varnum said seclusion would only be used in the emergency situations listed in A through D, and that would be those situations you would then call on law enforcement to come and support. Later, she described the emergency situations as ones that could not have been predicted. Emergency situations A through D include weapons, fights, self-defense, and imminent harm to self and others. Sounds good, right? Except the words emergency situations, law enforcement, and could not have been predicted don't appear anywhere in seclusion regulation 4203R that was approved 7-0. The newly approved regulation only changes the location of where our youngest and most vulnerable learners will be locked up. The fact is, with School Safety Policy 1510, you don't even need the seclusion regulation. As you heard earlier, Policy 1510 includes the word emergency. It defines when employees shall request assistance, and it specifically addresses situations involving young children. Love Our Children asks the new board to train and support our teachers and fully staff our schools. End seclusion by the start of the 23-24 school year, and add 6 words to Policy 1510, which are, and risk of serious bodily injury. Start the new year right. Love our children. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. followed by Ms. Kulich and Ms. Gargett.
Good evening. Last week, we received the seclusion data for the first 2 full months of school. There were 44 seclusions in September and October. That's more than one seclusion every school day. All 44 of the seclusions were in elementary schools. 95% of the seclusions were special education students with IEPs. 61 of the seclusion rooms were Black students. Last month, the board voted to end seclusion rooms, but their vote maintained the practice of seclusion. Shame on them. No one believes that all 44 of those seclusions were emergency situations that could not have been predicted. No one believes that all 44 of those seclusions were the most rare circumstances where law enforcement was called. The data suggests that seclusions is being used like a hammer, where special ed and Black kids look like the nails. As the new Board of Education in the seclusion policy. Instead, use School Safety Policy 1510 for situations that pose an immediate threat of risk of serious bodily injury. That will limit the possible use of seclusions to only dangerous emergency situations, the ones Ms. Bonham said could not have been predicted, and where the law enforcement would be called in for support. Everyone must be safe in our schools. Support and fully staff each building and treat every child with dignity and respect. I appreciate you looking all attentive. Thank you. That's refreshing.
Thank you very much. Bullock, Gargett, and Ms. Stackhouse.
Good evening, Board. My name is Patricia Colich. I'm with Facts 2.0 from New Hanover County. I am actually from Pender County, working with Facts 2.0 for New Hanover County. I don't want to take much of your time, but I just wanted to emphasize a little bit on what Gail Major had to say. We have laws. I've sat and listened to this board for the past 2 years. The same parents are coming with the same complaints. Nothing was done over the past 2 years. Seclusion, books. The law clearly states, and we've done the research, we have legislation laws, we have immunity to look at. How far can you take that immunity? By the laws of the federal justice system. We've checked with the Department of Justice. We have displayed the information that's available to you in the grievances you will be receiving. I'm here to empower you, the board, with the laws. Apparently, we have not known the laws, and they have to be abided. And if not, there are repercussions. There will be civil lawsuits going out if these matters are not paid attention to. We have pornography in our schools. 3200 gives you the sole permission to remove these books based on your decision. There's one thing I hate more is coming here as a public speaker. I am not a public speaker, but I have been forced because the board prior to you did not do their job. I don't know whether it's the attorney misdirecting you, not letting you understand what the repercussions are for your job, but I'm here to help you know what your job is because your attorney's not doing the job that's necessary. If you look at the federal laws by Trey Allen, you will clearly understand in our grievance what measures need to be taken. And for those working on seclusion, we've been here far too long talking about that. Something can be done, and it's found in the federal. So if you look into the federal and contact Facts 2.0, we will help you with those struggles, and we will get you in front of the judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Gargett, followed by Ms. Stackhouse, and then Ms. Cannon, please.
Good evening. A couple weeks ago, my daughter asked me, "Did you know there's a seclusion room at my school?" She looked very concerned. I asked if she saw the room, and she said no, but she was alarmed by a loud sound coming from the classroom next to hers. She said she asked the teacher about the noise, and she explained that that's the room where students go when they're angry. It's located right next to the EC classroom. Our most vulnerable students left to try to learn while they listened to a fellow classmate thrash around. My daughter was horrified at the noises coming from the room. No one can learn if they're afraid. I share this story with you today to show how much work is ahead of this board, not just to update policies, but to shift the mindset that noises of an angry child left to deal with these emotions alone is not normal or effective. We must do better to end seclusion, especially for minor behavior, and help our teachers and redirect students to use important life skills to help regulate their emotions. We must continue to use SEL to help with prevention and other tools to avoid seclusion and keep our students and teachers safe. I share my daughter's perspective tonight because our student voices are important and they should be valued. So I'm concerned to not see the official student voices on the agenda. This policy passed 2 months ago, and they have not been added to the agenda. Please ensure that they will be on the next agenda because our student voices earned the right to be heard. Thank you so much.
Ms. Stackhouse, followed by Ms. Cannon, and then Ms. Guerra.
Good evening. School Safety Policy 1510 says that if there's a situation in a school with an immediate threat to safety, an employee must use their professional judgment to protect the safety of everyone in the vicinity. That professional judgment might be to lock a child in a room until law enforcement arrives. To ensure that seclusion is only used in the most dangerous emergency situations, Love Our Children asks that 6 words be added to the policy 1510. Those words are, and risk of serious bodily harm. U.S. Code 1365 HC defines serious bodily harm as a substantial risk of death, extreme physical pain, protracted and obvious disfigurement or protracted loss or impairment of the function of a bodily member or organ or mental faculty. Here's what the revised sentence would say. When employees with responsibility for supervising students have personal knowledge or actual notice of a student altercation or other situation that poses an immediate threat to safety and risk of serious bodily injury, they shall use their professional judgment to determine how best to address the situation to protect the safety of everyone in the vicinity. Our goal is to keep everyone safe in our schools. School Safety Policy 1510 helps to do that. In seclusion as a behavior management tool. It has harmed too many of our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stackhouse. Ms. Cannon, followed by Ms. Guerra, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Cannon, and I'm a longtime follower, but a first-time speaker. First of all, congratulations to all the new members. Running for office is very hard. It can affect your families. We appreciate your public service. Having said that, I would like to respectfully share some of my concerns I have about a few aspects of your campaigns and your previous public remarks. I'm going to put on multiple hats. As the Secretary of the Board of Directors of our local water utility, CFPUA, I know that hundreds of families have their water cut off every month because they can't afford to pay our bills. We're working on that. But kids are coming to school every day with no access to running water in their homes. Social emotional learning isn't a woke project. It is a critical tool so teachers can make sure these types of kids have a level playing field when they get to school. As a retired OBGYN doctor, I can tell you that structural racism is real, and it is in our healthcare system, and it kills women and babies every day. Structural racism means generational poverty, and teaching our children about this history isn't CRT and it isn't woke. It is a common sense way to make sure that we learn from and stop repeating the mistakes of the past. Finally, as a volunteer counselor for a national suicide prevention organization for gay and trans youth, almost every week I communicate with teens who are struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts. Often they are terrified to come out to their parents because it may mean getting kicked out of their home or other extreme punishment. Forcing teachers to out these children to their families before they are ready to do so could literally translate into more youth suicides. I am not exaggerating. I believe that all of you truly want the best for our kids and our schools. I am asking that you put down the anti-public school propaganda playbooks that you have been given. Teachers aren't groomers. Learning our true history doesn't hurt white children. Giving every kid a level playing field won't hurt our schools. It will give us the best test scores in the state. Thank you.
Hi, I want to say thank you to all the new school board members, and thank you to all the school board members for your oath of supporting the United States Constitution. I also want to speak on and appreciate the removal of seclusion rooms beginning next school year and continuing to train teachers that are receiving behavioral student management. But there's still a problem. The use of seclusion should only occur in extreme circumstances and only potentially be used when there is a threat of bodily injury to students or staff. Please remove seclusion as a management tool, except in these extreme circumstances. You can address this by adding the 6 words we've talked about tonight to Policy Code 1510, 4200, 7270. Those words are, "and the risk of serious bodily injury." It should not be used in any other circumstance. This takes care of why seclusion is used or should be used. It is very sad that a child get locked up without real supervision for circumstances that are normally beyond their control. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I understand that Mr. Cooper and Mr. Bellamy are not, Ms. Cooper and Mr. Bellamy are not here, so we'll go to Ms. Edelman, please. Ms. Edelman, followed by Mr. Brown and Mr. Isles, please.
Good evening. My name is Ann Eidelman. I'm the co-chair of the League of Women Voters Lower Cape Fear Education Action Team. I or another member of our team have been observing school board meetings for over 6 years now. This evening, we welcome you, our newly elected school board members. You all have assumed a great responsibility, as your decisions will affect the quality of the education our students receive, and our students are our future. Our League of Women Voters team closely monitors education issues at the state and local levels, and one of our advocacy goals involves supporting students' social and emotional health. We supported Love Our Children and other advocacy groups last year in asking that the district implement alternatives to out-of-school suspensions for young children. We joined them again this year in asking the district to use School Safety Policy 1510 to limit the use of seclusion and restraint to only what is necessary in emergency situations to protect the safety of the student and others involved in the situation. To accomplish this, we need to train our administration and staff to use evidence-based strategies from trauma-informed, problem-solving, and positive behavior programs, and make sure that there are sufficient teacher aides and support staff to enable teachers to implement these strategies. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Carl Brown, please.
My name is Carl D. Brown. I was born here in Wilmington and a graduate of Williston Industrial High School in the class of 1953. Congratulations to all of you newly elected board members. I sincerely hope that this board will work as a team to create and maintain a culture for excellence for all students in education. A culture. That's what is needed for this system. I strongly believe that you should have a strong vision in your strategic plan, a strong vision, and follow it. And also have a timetable with goals so that you can establish and maintain whatever the strategic plan leads you to. Because currently, there don't seem to be any guideline in terms of where you're going and how you're going to get there. So I ask all of you board members to please work with each school to establish a strategic plan with goals and timetables. Let me also say that all the schools that are failing, you need goals, timetables to bring those kids up to where they should be and provide the necessary resources to get them there. because after all, they are our future. And they desperately need all of you to work together as a unified team to get them there. Recently, I attended Williston Middle School to a conference. I was appalled at the way that school looked. Ceiling lights were out, bulbs were burned out, and there appeared to be no interest in correcting those deficiencies. Please mandate your facilities people to go in and take care of that school as well as audit all the other remaining schools to make sure that the facility is applicable to learning. Because after
Mr.
all,
Brown, your time is up. Thank
health
you.
could be involved.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you. Mr. Isles, followed by Ms. Caney and Mr. Cromartie.
Imagine if we could end seclusion while saving millions on workman's comp, increasing staff retention, improving staff morale, and improving student achievement. Too good to be true? After all, the narrative from the district is that we must use seclusion. This narrative is false. Ukiru is a seclusion and restraint-free crisis management program that does all of that, and they have almost 2 decades of proven results. Last month, Ms. Isles sent an email to the board, Dr. Faust, and Ms. Varnum, begging them to look at the UKIRA program and to specifically empower the staff at Forest Hills Elementary. She talks with staff and knows they are afraid and unprepared. She also knows they don't want to seclude young children, which is why safety and teacher empowerment has been the foundation of her advocacy. Unfortunately, our board and district have failed to support staff, as confirmed by the recent Teacher Working Conditions Survey. For over 6 months, Ms. Isles has requested that we hear a presentation outlining how staff will be supported. We're still waiting. When are we going to see that plan? Our district uses what-if scenarios to defend seclusion, such as, what if a kid has a weapon? Except New Hanover County Schools stated there are no records from the past 5 school years that show seclusion was used for possession of a weapon. This year alone, children aged 10 and under have been secluded 44 times in our district, averaging 1 seclusion each school day. And last month, the board voted to end the use of seclusion rooms, but continue using seclusion, only making the policy more dangerous for students and staff. If staff are not supported, that is not the fault of advocates. Refusing to support staff is not an excuse to continue the use of seclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Caney, followed by Mr. Cromartie, followed by Ms. Posey, please.
I first want to thank Judy Justice for your leadership and advocacy for staff, students, and families over the last 4 years. Sorry. You've represented us with integrity, truth, and transparency and accountability that you promised when campaigning. It's been an honor and a privilege to stand beside you, and this community has committed a great disservice to children who have failed to secure your second term. While Nelson and Adams failed to protect students and attacked you at every turn, you've never wavered from your values and have fought both parties when necessary in the best interest of children, showing loyalty to children, not party affiliation. In 25 years of advocacy, I've never been more proud of a board member in Judy, never more disappointed in Nelson and Adams, and never more worried than I am right now. As an activist, I lack faith in both parties. Neither represents the kids I advocate for, and I'll continue to hold both accountable. Each new board member ran on the claim that they welcome parent involvement, but some current members, superintendent, and even senior staff have already found ways to silence us through false accusations and charges, and even trespassing. Will you continue that trend? Many claim to support student voice, yet for the second month since the policy passed, student voice was omitted from the agenda. In addition, students are in school when you open the link for call to audience and unable to sign up to speak using that platform, an act of tokenism, perhaps. There's a lack of communication and safety concerns in our schools, from lockdowns and threats of violence to bullying and discrimination. These are real. Will you do your job and protect and provide quality education to all students, or just a select few? It sounds nice to say you'll protect the victims of sexual assault, yet we've seen the previous 2 boards fail to do this. Will you continue to allow endless court battles, re-traumatizing victims, or will you finally bring about justice to those who protect pedophiles, no matter what the cost? I sincerely hope we catch a glimpse of true leadership again with allegiance to our children and not a party. Gratitude and respect to Judy, good riddance to Nelson and Adams, and to the rest, we are watching to see what your next move is. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cromartie, followed by Ms. Posey, followed by Mr. Carter.
Congratulations. Like the old folks say, a lie don't care who tell it. It just needs somebody to listen. Our schools do not teach CRT. Our school counselors do not groom children. If anything, we need more of them. Seclusion is not a tool to benefit children. We need to do away with it immediately. You heard the 6 words. You know what the policy is. You can vote on it tonight. If you want to be aggressive about anything, get rid of seclusion tonight. Our teachers need support in the classroom. Our Title I schools are suffering. They need everybody on this board to work together as a team and be cohesive, to be slow to talk and quick to understand. But the plans that I hear here tonight, they are rumors right now, but they're not good rumors. Our kids need everybody here to work together. Our teachers need you to work together. Teaching true American history does not make race relations worse. Ignoring them makes things worse. We need to know what we did in order to not repeat them again. Having equity, diversity, and inclusion does not harm people. It doesn't. We need it. In order for me to dream as a kid to know what I'm going to do, I have to see representation. I have to see that teacher that looks like me to know that I can do it, that I can leave Creekwood, that I can leave Houston Moore. You cannot be one-sided on every single issue. You have to work together. You have to listen. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Posey, followed by Mr. Carter, and then Jamie Pond.
Good evening. I'm Leslie Posey, a retired teacher with 30 years' experience in New Hanover County Schools. I want to speak to you about reading. When I started teaching, reading was fun. Kids were allowed to read based on their interest as well as material in the curriculum. Reading levels were assessed by trained educators, not government committees. Then came No Child Left Behind. Its intentions were good, but its implementation was awful. Someone else decided what a 3rd grader should be able to read. More and more classroom time had to be allotted to teaching kids how to fill out bubble sheets. Reading material in class was progressively moved farther and farther from kids' interest and more to short readings with lots of practice questions. Reading wasn't fun anymore. Now we have large numbers of kids and adults who hate to read. As a simple way to think about testing, I'd like to leave you with this. First, they said they needed data about the children to find out what they're learning. Then they said they needed data about the children to make sure they are learning. Then the children only learned what could be turned into data. Then the children became data. I hope this board will move New Hanover County Schools past the incredibly awful reliance on tests and back to where teachers can really teach and reading will be fun again and children will stop being data.
Thank you. Mr. Carter, followed by Jamie Pond and April Farr.
Thank you for allowing me this time to speak to you. I'm a former educator and the father of 2 children currently in the New Hanover County Schools. During your recent campaigns, you complained about the disorganization of meetings and the length of them, and you've even openly blamed former board members. To remedy this problem, I'd suggest you get a copy of Robert's Rules of Order and keep them at your desks. I'd also suggest you would elect among you a parliamentarian to be sure that the rules are followed. Secondly, you seem to be concerned with parental rights. I assure you that in my 25 years of my residency in New Hanover County, over those years, I've had 6 students in this system. I have never been denied the right to enter a school, to volunteer at a school, I've never been denied the right to see classrooms in action that you claim are somehow secretive. I have served on school improvement councils, served as a watchdog, a mentor. I've even been an EOG proctor. Your insinuation that parents don't have rights is incorrect, and to me, nothing more than a wedge for agitating a base of supporters. My final request is that when you address faculty, staff, and volunteers in the schools, you need a policy of politeness and respect. After a career of over 32 years, I know for a fact teaching's difficult, and it's made even harder when savaged by the words of irresponsible board members who lack empathy with the blood and guts of this school system. Thank you.
Ms. Pond, followed by Ms. Farr, and then Mr. Sutton.
Good evening, school board. My name is Jamie Pond. I have a bachelor's in English, a master's in literature. I am a teacher and a parent. Tonight I'm going to speak about freedom of speech as it relates to banning books. Last year, my daughter participated in her school's Battle of the Books, and one of the books she read was Ban This Book by Alan Gratz. She loved this book so much, she bought a copy with her own money, and for the next several days, we read it together. The moral of the story was, on what basis do we ban books? It's all based on perspective and individuals' own interpretation of what's, quote, appropriate. As a lover of books and a teacher, I want to encourage you to refrain from banning books. Books encourage individuals to think critically about the world around them. They also help people develop empathy and understanding of those who are different. In addition, if kids feel different themselves, it gives them an opportunity to feel like they belong. Books are essential tools that help readers understand the world around us and on complex terms. Books are complicated. They have several layers. Books challenge us to think differently about the world around us. They challenge us to think differently from each other. With all of this in mind, books are so very glorious in all that they do. I am fortunate to have a daughter who loves to read, and if she reads the books and has questions, I'm there to help her navigate her questions and the book. Banning books is about enforcing a specific viewpoint on kids around us and controlling people's thoughts. They are telling them, you should not read X. You should not think differently. You should not think critically. In our divisive world today, people need the opportunity to think critically and differently, and books provide this opportunity. As such, we should not be banning books, and thank you for upholding the First Amendment and your time.
Ms. Farr, then Mr. Sutton, and then Mr. Fisher, please.
Congratulations, new board members, and welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your lives to be here and start down a road that it might be very difficult, as the last few years have shown. 4 years ago, we needed someone to be the loudest voice in the room and attempt for our sexually abused students to be heard and abusers to be held accountable. Without Judy Justice's tenacity, determination, and willingness to be vilified, for the audacity to demand action and accountability, attention might never have been paid to the horrifying reality in which our community lives. She is a true advocate. We thank you, Judy. My hope is that the new board members dare to represent our students and our teachers as selflessly as she has, even when it costs you personally. We need you to work together for these purposes. Welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Sutton, followed by Mr. Fisher, and then Jet Butterworth, please.
I was going to be 10 seconds over my time just to be the first to get gavelled by you, but other people stole that from me. You know, hey, hit him one time there. Congratulations to the new board. Congratulations to the vice chair, Pat Bradford. Congratulations to the new chair, Pete Wildeboer. Hopefully under your leadership, we will have a board that is transparent, holds people accountable, and strives for true fiscal conservancy that pushes funding back into our classrooms instead of central office and middle management positions. Each of you pushed for these common goals during election, and I feel the community as a whole would support and embrace this board if y'all push to follow through with these promises. I ask our new board members to please do me one favor: protect the meek. Protect those who have no voice. Be not only the shield defending our basic rights, but also the sword that holds those accountable who have wronged our community and students. Tonight there will be a discussion regarding the school calendar, and I hope the board does not settle for the August 28th start date option and instead votes to request a waiver from the state to begin classes August 21st. This is what I feel is best for the students, and overwhelmingly it appears that's what the teachers would like as well. Another thing, the board soon is going to have to discuss potentially terminating the superintendent for cause. That is a conversation that needs to happen behind closed door, and my suggestion would be to hold a vote to hire an independent third-party person like Jill Wilson did with Tim Markley to investigate and provide details to the board to say, hey, look, he violated this statute, he violated this policy, he violated his contract. Lastly, Sandy Isles was removed and banned for 1 year at the last meeting after multiple meetings of being antagonized back and forth. Her and Stephanie Adams obviously do not like each other, and they had a rift. She was antagonized, they had it out, and she got to yelling, and the video shows the true evidence. She's standing in the corner over there, antagonized her, bye-bye, playing games with her. The board is going to be in charge of that appeal. I'm hoping whoever does, at least give her another chance to come back. She's already lost 1 month here, and I believe that would be fine. Obviously, she would be on thin ice. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Mr. Fisher, followed by Jet Butterworth.
Good evening. I'd like to first congratulate the new board members. This race was very important, and it demonstrates the mindset of the population. With new school board members being sworn in, rapid action has already taken place in other areas, and we're excited for what New Hanover County has in store. Over the past couple of years, a huge part of the population have truly been awakened to issues far and wide, and the swamp is being drained, starting with the most local level, where it matters most. You'll never know it if you only watch mainstream news, but rest assured, corrupt individuals are in full-on panic mode, and they should be. Not much matters more than the way our children's minds are shaped. No longer will parents be sitting idle on the sides while their kids are indoctrinated into wicked mentalities. The citizens of this nation are alert and ready to guard against any tyrannical regime that seeks to poison our wells. Americans know that our greatness comes from a bottom-up power structure. Outside the reach of a corrupt political establishment which seeks only to present the illusion of change, there's a movement spreading like wildfire. Citizens are independently banding together and taking actions to restore integrity in our institutions, and it is my hope that this board will embrace this amazing phenomenon. We the people recognize and appreciate the sacrifice that it takes to occupy one of your seats. We too hold responsibility to express our perspectives on how things should be and to advise when we anticipate a path of demise. Understanding that this is, unfortunately, a dirty game with consequences, it is our job to help you to do the right thing and to hold accountable anyone who betrays the trust bestowed upon them. We the people are here to take back the reins, and our ranks are growing by the day. In closing, may God bless the children of New Hanover County by guiding those who are here to protect them.
Thank you. Jet Butterworth, followed by Ms. Davis, please.
Hi, good evening. I have 25 years experience in public schools playing a fly on the wall, but this is my first time speaking to the board. I'm here tonight in support of Love Our Children's 3 asks. The first is to train and support our teachers and fully staff our schools. The best way to implement a revised policy is by making sure everyone has the training they need and that each building is fully staffed to implement it. You have the rest of this school year to do that. The second end seclusion by the start of 2023-24 school year. Research and data about the harm of seclusion has been presented to the board for 2 years now. There's no research or data to truly support seclusion. It harms. Finally, that's the third, add 6 words to Public Safety Policy 1510. These words are, and risk of serious bodily harm. Secluding a child only makes sense in these rarest of circumstances involving the immediate threat and safety and risk of death, extreme physical pain, disfigurement, or impairment of the body. The seclusion would last a few minutes until law enforcement arrives. Ask Ms. Varman, how many times has this happened in the last 4 years? A new board offers a new opportunity. Start the new year with ending seclusion in New Hanover County. Please. Thank you.
Thank you. Last, we have Ms. Davis, Gabrielle Marie Davis. Are there any additional additions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to reopen the agenda for additional agenda items for discussion tonight.
I believe we would need a second for that. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We'll second that. We would, Mr. Justin, we would need a 2/3 vote to reopen to amend the agenda at this point, correct?
That's correct. After the agenda has been adopted, it requires a 2/3 vote.
2/3 vote, which would be 5 people. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. Ms. Bowie, would you do a roll, or Ms. Russell, would you do a roll call for that, please? So the amendment, or the motion in front of us is to reopen, to amend the agenda at this point.
Ms. Barnhart?
Yes.
Ms. Bradford?
Yes.
Ms. Craybill?
No.
Ms. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. McManus?
No.
Ms. Walker?
No.
And Mr. Wildebohr?
Yes, that, I believe, is defeated because we needed a 5-vote vote. So with that in mind, let us continue. I call for a motion to enter into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318, 11A, 1, 3, and 6 to consider personnel matters and to maintain the confidentiality of personnel records under General Statute 115C, 319 through 321, to prevent the disclosure of student education records and personally identifiable information rendered confidential under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, 20 USC, 1232G, and to consult with the board's attorney to preserve the attorney-client privilege, including cases captured John Doe 1 and 2 versus New Hanover County School Board of Education et al., and 20 CVS 1392 and Jane Doe 3 versus New Hanover County Board of Education et al., 21 CVS 4707. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
1395.
I'll make a motion.
Motion? Okay, do we have a second?
A second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are in closed session. I'm gonna get her to do that. Mine's also down. Yep. Anything you need to go through? Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you. How much of your junk do you carry, or do you just leave it?
Since I've had flu.
Yeah. I just want to log out. I'm still signed in here and log out. Okay. This is my desktop. Oh, yeah, because I think your emails are live now. You're live. Yeah, I just don't know how to use it yet.
When you come next time, they should be set up for you. So all you gotta do is log in.
Yeah, all you do is Control Alt
Mine
Delete,
didn't work tonight. She had no way.
and then you'll put your username in, Pat.Radford. Is there a break between now and the session? Yeah.
NHCS.
Pat.Radford. She don't have to put NHCS because she's already on the server. Nope, didn't take it.
You gotta click OK first.
Oops. I had it a minute ago. Okay. I'm just so not used to PCs, and I have a trackpad, and so, okay, so I'm in. And this password is which one? The first one I created?
Yes, the first one that you created to log into the computer.
So how do I pull up the agenda?
Okay, so I will show you. It's going to take a couple of minutes for this to pop up, and I'll show you when you come back.
Yes, ma'am.
You got it.
Bye. You're not allowed to approach the dais, ma'am. Oh, bye. Thank you. I appreciate you staying so late.
Get my YouTubes on.